José Policarpo Rodriguez, frontiersman, U.S. Army scout and guide, rancher, county official, and minister, was born on January 26, 1829, in Zaragoza, Coahuila, Mexico. Due to years of continued Indian raids and loss of property, Rodriguez's father decided to move farther north to San Antonio. Poli became an acknowledged gunsmith in 1845. During this period, surveyors began to seek him out for his frontiersmanship and marksmanship. In 1849, Rodriguez was hired by Lieutenant William Whiting to help guide, survey, and explore for the Whiting and Smith expedition, a government-contracted venture charged with establishing a westward road from San Antonio to El Paso. The expedition left Fredericksburg on February the 21st of that year and reached Presidio del Norte on March 25th, then proceeded north along the Rio Grande, and finally reached El Paso on April 11th. Since the last leg of the journey was marked by exceedingly difficult traveling conditions and Indian attacks, the Whiting party chose a more direct route back to San Antonio and arrived there on May 25th. This latter route laid out with the invaluable help of Rodriguez, to which became the principal westward road to El Paso. Whiting described Poli as one of the most valuable members of his party and praised his surveying and excellent frontiersmanship. The expedition established Rodriguez's reputation as a reliable scout. Following this exploration, Colonel Joseph Johnston was selected to finalize and construct the road. Johnston hired Rodriguez to be one of the lead scouts and guide for this mission. In 1851, General Smith appointed Rodriguez head guide, scout, and interpreter for the U.S. Army in Texas. At this time, Rodriguez was only 22 years old. However, he was prized as being one of a few frontiersmen with the most knowledge of Texas and Mexico. He was an able communicator with various American Indian groups and possessed the skills to determine their movements and warfare. He could also determine suitable land for fort construction. Smith was commissioned to build a second line of defense construction of new forts along a line from Eagle Pass to Fort Worth. This project lasted 5 years and became one of the nation's largest military construction efforts and greatly benefited the state's economy. Rodriguez's role was to provide reconnaissance on tribal locations and movements and to submit potential fort locations with ample water, adequate pasture foraging, and native building materials. In 1855, the newly created 2nd U.S. Cavalry, led by Colonel Johnston and Lieutenant Colonel Robert E. Lee, crossed the Red River into Texas and deployed to all the recently built forts to quell American Indian conflicts on the Texas frontier. Rodriguez's role changed from peacetime scout to combat guide, and he was posted to Fort Merrill at Conquista Crossing. In 1856, he was mustered into Company C under Captain Palmer at Camp Verde in Kerr County. Rodriguez's service often brought him into frequent contact with hostile Apaches and Comanches in the Texas Hill Country and the West Texas Plains. Shortly after arriving at Camp Verde, his first sortie was to recover the escaped U.S. Army camels, which he located in the Privilege Creek Valley in Bandera County. This discovery led to his purchase of 360 acres along the creek from John James, and he established his home and ranch. During this period, Camp Verde units engaged in many combat missions. In 1858, Rodriguez led a pursuit action that engaged Lipan Apaches along the San Geronimo River in Bandera County. He was later singled out for his valor in combat in a presidential citation that was awarded to the unit. Rodriguez was noted for his skill in the use of firearms, for his superb horsemanship, and for his knowledge of American Indians and his tracking abilities. He remained stationed at Camp Verde until the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861. That same year, upon the departure of the U.S. Army, he mustered into the newly created Home Guards. His service included membership in the 3rd Frontier District, Texas State Troops. During the Civil War, ranging units patrolled a designated frontier district, to provide protection against hostile tribes and bandits. During Reconstruction, Rodriguez served Bandera County as a commissioner, Justice of the Peace and Texas Ranger from 72 to 73. During this period, he continued his ranching interests by accumulating a 4,000-acre ranch filled with longhorns and horses. He sold land in the Privilege Creek region to new Tejano pioneers, which is the Tejano practice of compradozgo. In 1877, Rodriguez converted from Catholicism to Methodism and became a minister. In 1882, he completed building Polly's Chapel on his land. José Poli Rodriguez's legacy continues in the communities he helped build and the stories of bravery and leadership that are still remembered today. Rodriguez's life is a testament to the resilience and determination required to thrive on the Texas frontier.